Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So, this one is another one in Shadow's tournament, and yeah, I'm against GeneralConfusion this time, and it's Chaos versus Tomb Kings. I like this matchup. I think it's quite a fun one. Can go either way, but I think it tends to favour Chaos. So, you know, for once, I have what I think is a favourable matchup in this tournament. So that's good news. That's good news, finally. But yeah, so this is my army. So against Tomb Kings, you kind of want to pin everything down, because you don't want things like, you know, Tomb Guard with halberds chasing your vital units around, you know? Because Chaos, they kind of just have, yeah, they can have a very sturdy elite front line, but a lot of the time the damage dealers are the big monsters, right? And that's what I've gone for. So, got my Chaos Marauders. This stuff can pin things down. They're not going to last a huge amount of time, but they are going to be immune to psychology with Archaon nearby, which is really nice. Crown of Domination, super useful in this matchup. It keeps you guys in the fight. It stops all the constructs from causing terror and routing your whole army. So, very handy. Also, I've got some Chaos Warriors with halberds. I did want some Chaos Warriors because they're a little bit more sturdy, obviously, than the Chaos Marauders. Not a lot of armor piercing can really bother them. There's not a lot of good sort of anti-infantry that is small. You know, it's all large targets for the anti-infantry, and they don't want to be touching these guys. So these guys can sit, and yeah, they won't get the most amount of damage into, you know, things like Tomb Guard or whatever, but they're going to trade pretty favourably. They're very good combatants. So I like that. A lot of armour as well. Standard Tomb Guard, they don't have much armour piercing. The halberds do, but the halberds don't want to be fighting stuff like this. So they're in a pretty good, you know, pretty good position. Pretty handy unit to have. Also, Forsaken, they can kill things very quickly. So while this stuff is pinning everything in place, my Forsaken can hopefully just yo-yo between skeletons and just churn through them. You know, they don't have a huge amount of armor piercing, but there's not a huge amount of armor in the front line, so the Forsaken can get a lot of killing done in this matchup. Also, I decided to bring a Chaos Chariot for, just for the fun of it, really. It's something that the constructs are going to have to chase around in order to stop them, and that means I can pull things out of position, you know. Chaos Chariot's a good bait, and if they don't go for the bait, they're just going to kill all the infantry. So, very handy to have. Chaos Chariots are very useful there. Also, Law of Fire, again, super useful, because every lord is weak to fire, so you can really help, you know, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and whatever happens to catch out a lord, it's going to do way more damage, because of that fire weakness. And the general buffs from, you know, Flaming Sword of Ruin generally, it's really going to help. Also, Burning Skull, really good for killing a load of the cheap infantry, or even some of the more expensive infantry, because again, not a huge amount of armor in the front line. So I've got a lot of good solutions. So hopefully the Marauders won't need to pin things down for too long, but I've got a wide enough line to be able to do that. Also, I've got some extra Forsaken on each flank, so they can try and get round, hopefully into archers and things, and they're being escorted by Dragon Ogres, which will do great against any sort of cavalry or something that might try and, you know, charge them to slow them down or kill them or whatever. You know, you're good bodyguards here. And the same on the other side. So, GeneralConfusion. I like his army. It's a good army. He's got a load of skeletons, obviously. He's gone pretty wide. So, now, yeah, look, just doing the quick maths, I think he outnumbers me in terms of his front line. Even with all the Marauders, he has a lot of things here, you know, that can get in and just bog me down. And then he's got free units, such as the Tomb Guard with halberds, that can then provide support, you know, against my Dragon Ogres. I don't want my Dragon Ogres fighting these guys, but I'm going to need to get on all his units. And, of course, he has the Ushabtu Great Bows. These guys are great just for picking a target and melting it. You know, it's tough. I need to get on top of these guys quickly, but it's going to be difficult to do that, because my best units for that are going to be my Dragon Ogres. And if they're being defended by the Tomb Guard, it's going to be hard. Also, he has Arcan the Black. Arcan the Black is a pretty good pick. You know, that death magic, really handy, just spamming Spirit Leech. I'm not going to be able to heal through it. I can't bring anything that can heal, apart from, I guess, Sigvold. But if I've brought Sigvold, who really cares? You know, he doesn't have to worry about that because it's Sigvold. So, fine. But, yeah, Arcan's going to do great. Also, the Chariots, that's really going to hurt. You know, his Chariot is going to do a lot of damage if he charges into any of my infantry. It's going to be very, very handy for getting rid of that stuff quickly. So, very scary, and he has more skeleton summons. So, a few things that he's got there that's going to be very handy in this matchup. Also here, you can see he has a Necrosphinx, a great anti-large, but Necrosphinxes do tend to suffer a bit against a lot of Dragon Ogres, because Dragon Ogres, there'll be so many models stood around the base of the Necrosphinx that they'll get so many hits in. And, you know, from behind as well, they don't have the best melee defense. The anti-large bonus are going to hit almost every time. So, huge armor piercing and anti-large, you know, for both of them there. So if I can catch this guy out with the Dragon Ogres, I'm in pretty good stead. And that's basically the only large stuff I have, apart from Archaon, who should be able to outrun this guy. So, it's useful, but a bit of a tough pick, I think. Also, though, he does have a Necrotect, so he will be able to heal things up, and he does have a Tomb Scorpion as well, which will really help against the infantry. So, speeding things up. Can start charging in now. Well, sort of posturing. I'm trying to get on this sort of hill, sending these guys just behind this rock. I don't want them to get shot at, so they're just going to sit here. They're just going to sit there for now. And these guys are going to try and move around the other flank. And eventually, yeah, my front line is going to have to sort of split up and attack whatever. But you can see GeneralConfusion is trying to use the terrain here to his best advantage. Just try and keep in the corner, keep his Ushabti in a position where he can get the best fire on top of me, which would suck. You know, I don't want to get shot by these guys. So anyway, Arcan moving in. Doing a bit of scouting. I can't really catch him out right now. Here's his Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is very good against Dragon Ogres. You know, quite small model counts, and Spirit Leech is better on, you know, sort of single targets. But even Dragon Ogres, it can do some, you know, significant damage. I mean, look at that. That's going to hurt. If he keeps doing that, I'm going to lose a big advantage there. I really need my Dragon Ogres, you know, ship shape. I don't want them to charge in and then have just some cheap spearmen getting the final hit on them, you know. I can't be losing models like that. So any damage I'm taking is very valuable to the Tomb Kings right now. So, Chariot moving in as well. Chariot's going to be really nice. I think Chariot's a great pick. It's got some mass as well, so I can actually use it to pin things in, because they do have a fair bit of armor. They are quite good for pinning things in as well. They're quite big, a lot of mass, they can't be pushed around so easily, so they're actually quite good at just sort of catching something out like a Tomb Scorpion, so you can follow up with something that can destroy the Tomb Scorpion. But right now, I'm just charging to the sides, trying to keep this stuff busy. Obviously, he's going to want to charge in with his halberds to try and deal with the Chaos Chariot, but this is a beautiful distraction, you know, it lets my Forsaken get around the back. A load of my units are going very much for everything here. Some things are slowing down for some reason, and here's a Spirit Leech and Archaon. So he's charging in as well. Chariot's going to keep moving. These Forsaken are going to have no problem getting through the Spearmen, and these Forsaken are doing pretty damn well against these Tomb Guard, and if I can get rid of these Tomb Guard with halberds early, that is great for me. And it means they're not attacking the Dragon Ogres, they're attacking the Forsaken. But things are leveling out now that the charge bonus is starting to wear off. So, you know, it's not all good, but I'm getting some good damage in there. So, Archaon, he's, yeah, I've used Cascading Fire Cloak on him. So it's going to give him more armor piercing, which will help him in this fight. And, oh, another Spirit Leech. It's constant. It is constant. So yeah, another Spirit Leech on him. But, you know, with Stand or Die and Cascading Fire Cloak, it's keeping his melee defense really nice and high. So he's able to shrug off a lot of this damage. And it's allowing me to get my Dragon Ogres in. And here, I'm going to try and get on top of this Tomb Scorpion. I have these guys pretty surrounded. Here's some Skeleton Warriors Worst summoned behind me, which is definitely a good call. My halberds, they've been sort of waiting to see what they can attack. So I'm going to try and sneak him in round the back. Here, my Dragon Ogres. Doom and Darkness, bit of a waste. Bit of a waste, that one. I think that was a bit of a rush, because they're not going to break. They're not going to break that quickly. So getting some good damage into the Ushabti, so that's good news for me, but still 9 models, unfortunately. Here I've got my other Dragon Ogres, but all my Dragon Ogres are taking some pretty significant damage, and these Tomb Guard did win out, because of course they're unbreakable. You know, they're undead. But getting through some of them with my Chaos Chariots, causing a bit of a pain here. And I'm getting some good damage in some very vital units. Here you can see the Necrosphinx. I just turned to fight him instead. He came in to save his Ushabti, so I'm just keeping them busy with Chaos Chariots while I just wail on this guy. Necrosphinx is not designed to be fighting all this stuff. And Archaon, though, he's taken a ton of damage, but I'm kind of cool with it right now, because it means he's throwing a lot of expensive things at me, which I'm able to actually do better against. And here the Chaos Warriors with halberds are finally getting through. The other halberds are here keeping all this stuff busy. Ushabti have been summoned though, and the Ushabti can do great cutting through things like the Forsaken and the Chaos Marauders, so that's a pity. So I'm getting some units returning now, so these Forsaken are going to come back in. Got some Marauders running away, but they're Marauders, you kind of expect that. Over on this side, you know, getting through more Skeleton Warriors. But in the back, you can see Arcan has taken a huge amount of damage. So has Archaon, but he's managed to escape. The Necrosphinx is dead, and the Dragon Ogre is just beating the snot out of this Tomb Scorpion. And now, I've got my halberds coming in to try and keep these Tomb Guard busy. I need to get these Dragon Ogres out of this fight, but I needed to have something to back them up, because right now I need this stuff to win over here, you know? I need this stuff to wrap up. I can't bring these guys back, and yeah, I'm kind of happy with these guys fighting amongst themselves for now. I needed to pin these guys down so they couldn't join this fight that I was winning. So it's yeah, a lot of quick maths here. But you can see the Ushabti, the summoned ones, are having a great time routing off everything that's not anti-large. I mean, that's the Forsaken dealt with, and Forsaken are great damage dealers. You know, I really want them alive. So here, once again, Chariot just being a bit of a nuisance. He could be running through infantry, getting more damage in, but it's just keeping something on the Ushabti so they can't shoot at me. Here, another Spirit Leech, so Archaon is very, very injured, and here I decide to use a Burning Skull because it's going to get some good damage into these Tomb Guard, and it's not really going to damage anything in my, in my area. So get some damage in there, but not a huge amount. Here's more the fact that I could. So anyway, here, beautiful bait and switch about to happen. So he comes in for Archaon, and I run him through my Dragon Ogres, the Dragon Ogres catch Archaon. And that's kind of it for him, He's taken a lot of damage there. He's taken a lot of damage, only 300 health left. Those Ushabti are dealt with. But now the Tomb Guard are on top of me, I need to pull everything back out. The Necrotect is busy fighting Chaos Warriors with halberds, which isn't great for him. He is on foot though, but still, he's not a great fighter. He will get dragged down pretty quickly. So now I need to pull these guys out. Still got the Dragon Ogres chasing, so he just doesn't have time to rally. So Archaon is crumbling now, and most of his front line has been dealt with. Things are starting to crumble, and army losses takes hold. So all that's left is the Skeleton Warriors that were summoned, so they don't abide by leadership, they just, perpetually take damage. Same with Ushabti. So that's all I've got left to deal with. So, yeah, no biggie. And here's who's running straight into halberds. I mean, he's lost already, right? But yeah, we were having a nice chat at this point, so we didn't see the point of, sort of skipping this bit. So it's all good. So here I think I use a Cascading Fire Cloak on the Chaos Chariot. Give him, 82 melee defense is pretty astounding. With stand or die as well. Chaos Chariots with that much melee defense is pretty obscene. The anti-infantry bonus. I might think about using that a bit more often. Get a Cascading Fire Cloak on the Chaos Chariot before charging them in. So if they do get a bit bogged down, they'll just sit there and kill things for a while, It gives them a lot longer to get out without taking damage. Might be worth playing around with in future. Anyway, that's a Pyrrhic victory. Hey guys, look, I won one. I actually won one. Unfortunately, though, this was when I was still actually feeling pretty good. Not when I was really ill and played, I think, every other battle that I played in this tournament, which is a pity. But anyway, yeah, it was a great fight. And, yeah, GeneralConfusion and I, we had a great chat. We were chatting for a couple hours, actually, I think, on Discord after this match, just hanging out. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, so I'd definitely go check out his channel. He just started doing sort of more Total War stuff, but his main thing is Dominions 5, which is quite a niche game, not a huge community around it. But, he's basically got the entire community watching his videos. So if you're a big fan of Dominions 5, he's the place to go. He knows his stuff. So yeah, that's definitely worth checking out. But of course, he does do some other Total War stuff too, so it's always fun. And yeah, he's getting into it. So it's always nice, I think, when people are first getting into a game, they can often explain more, about the mechanics and things, because it's things that they've just learned, so it's fresh. I think there's a sort of thing with sort of me and a load of the other YouTubers sort of in this community. We've been doing it for so long. We skim over a lot of things because we've said it so many times, it seems like we're nagging. But if you're new to the game, then I recommend watching someone who also is fairly new to it, to at least, casting games. I think it's always a good shout because they're going to sort of talk about the basics more, because that's what they've just been grasping, and they want to talk about the basics. That's something that's fresh in their mind, and they haven't said it a million times. So I think there's definitely merit in that. Often I try and revisit the basics, but it's tough. So much of the stuff I just take for granted because I've been doing it so long. I just know all of it, and I know that I've said it in the past, but I've been doing this for so long, I'm sure there's a lot of basic stuff that I haven't covered in a hell of a long time. So, anyway, that's kind of besides the point. But go check out GeneralConfusion's channel. He's a good dude. Also, go check out Shadow Online Gaming, who has put on this tournament for everybody. And he is casting every single game in the tournament on his channel. So, not just my games. I'm in Group A. There's also a Group B with a whole load of other people that you haven't seen yet. I've got one more game to play against Gajira, which will be going up in a couple of days. But, yeah, apart from that, I mean, that's it, really, for me. I just, I wanted to get some, get some chit-chat in, let you guys know there's more to see, because there is a Group B, so if you haven't checked that out yet, go find Shadow Online Gaming, and, yeah, good dude again, and great that he put on this tournament, so it's a lot of fun. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.